Hello everyone, I expect this video to be very upbeat and very positive, mainly because I am super happy with how the Super Bowl turned out. I'm sorry to all the New England fans out there that watch my videos, but sorry, I'm not sorry. I never thought I would ever be this happy to see the Philadelphia Eagles of all teams win anything, much less the Super Bowl, but that's the hand we've been dealt. So I was happy with how the game turned out, and I'm going to talk about that a little bit, but yeah, I'm also very happy about certain things going on in pro wrestling, so we've got that to talk about as well, and I'm more than happy to shed some, spotlight some things that I love about pro wrestling right now, some things that are going on, especially during Wrestlemania season, so, yeah, a lot of good stuff in this video, but before I do any of that, got to do my top 10 matches for the month of January 2018, so let's just knock these out quick. Brand of the month, I'm going to give it to New Japan Pro Wrestling. I thought Wrestle Kingdom was an amazing show. They basically hit a home run, and then they followed it up nicely with some big shows like New Year's Dash and the New Beginning shows. They're doing very well. I think New Japan is doing an amazing job right now, and they've given us plenty of things to look forward to. We have a new IC champion. We have a new US champion. We have Jericho versus Naito to look forward to, and there's certain drama going on with the Bullet Club, which I'm going to talk about in this video. So, great stuff all around. But top 10 matches for January. Let's go. From New Japan New Beginning, Night 1 in Sapporo. Hiroshi Tanahashi defending the IC title against Minoru Suzuki. Suzuki dethroned Tanahashi, winning the title, making up for his big loss at Wrestle Kingdom, and had a really good match. End of Tanahashi's title reign. Hopefully now he can take some time off to heal his injuries. Good stuff. Just a really good match with a satisfying title change. Number 9, the Men's Royal Rumble match from 2018 Royal Rumble. I said in my review, it's the most I've enjoyed the Royal Rumble in years. And the women's match was good too, so it makes me wonder if the WWE realized that the Rumble has sucked for the last few years, so they just thought, man, we gotta, give them 2 good Rumbles just to kind of make up for all the crap we've given them. But I thought the men's match was very good, very entertaining, and the ending was very dramatic and had me on pins and needles, and I was happy with the finish, so just good stuff all around. Alright, and then from there we get Roppongi 3K versus the Young Bucks for the IWGP Junior Tag Team Championship, the opener to Wrestle Kingdom 12. I said in my review that it was probably the best match I've ever seen the Bucks have, at least my personal favorite. And it showed that Matt and Nick don't have to bounce all over the ring or flip all over the place in order to have a great match. They can construct a really well put together tag team match if need be, and I really enjoyed this match. Bucks won the titles, although they would lose them back during the New Beginning shows. They had another really good match with the Roppongi 3K, so it makes me wonder, are they going to have a third match down the road at some point? But yeah, really good stuff, really good opener, I liked it. Then from there we have Aleistair Black versus Adam Cole in the Extreme Rules match from NXT TakeOver Philadelphia. Philadelphia's got a lot to be happy about this week, huh? But yeah, Aleistair Black and Adam Cole had a really fun match. You normally don't get this kind of match out of NXT, this kind of wild, hardcore match, and I thought it was very entertaining, very good. I thought the involvement of Sanity to cancel out the Undisputed... God, I hate that. I'm just going to call him Red Dragon. Fuck that. But the interference of Sanity to cancel out Red Dragon's interference I thought was very, very well done and played into the rule structure of the match. Aleistair Black got the win, looked good in that victory, and now he's primed to face Andrade, Cien, and Almas for the title at WrestleMania weekend, which is very good. Looking forward to that. So, moving on from there. Also from Wrestle Kingdom, actually, the next few matches are from Wrestle Kingdom. We've got Kota Ibushi versus Cody Rhodes, which I thought was a really, really good match. On any other card, this would have been match of the night, but it was Wrestle Kingdom 12, so it wasn't. There were a ton of great matches on the show, but I thought these two meshed together extremely well and had a very, very good match. Then, also from Wrestle Kingdom, we've got Minoru Suzuki defending the Never Openweight Championship in a hair versus hair match against Hiroki Goto. A very stiff, hard-hitting match with an awesome ending where Suzuki lost and then, in a show of defiance, shaved his own head, losing the awesome Sweet Sweet Metal Hawk that he had been sporting, but good character moment for Suzuki and excellent stuff all around. Very satisfying title change. Then from there, also from Wrestle Kingdom, Marty Scurll versus Will Ospreay versus KUSHIDA versus Hiromu Takahashi in a 4-way match for the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship. If you want good cruiserweight action, just watch this match. And that's all I'm going to say. If you want good cruiserweight action, just watch that match. It'll give you everything you want. I thought all 4 guys did an amazing job in this and had one of the better matches on an excellent show. To have a standout match on this show, okay, there were so many great matches on this show that to have one that even stood out in that class is kind of incredible. So my hat's off to all 4 guys for pulling that off. Next up, the main event to Wrestle Kingdom 12, Kazuchika Okada defending the title against Tetsuya Naito for the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship. I know a lot of people were disappointed that Naito lost, but I thought the match was excellent. Loved the main event. I was I was on the edge of my seat for the last 10 minutes or so, because any one of those moves felt like it could have been the finish. And excellent work, great stuff, and I don't mind Okada retaining because he's done such a great job, and I think there is money to be made from a Omega-Okada title match down the road, or even doing Naito versus Okada again at some point. I wouldn't be opposed to. So, yeah, I was fine with the match. I thought it was great, and excellent main event to an excellent show. Number 2, I'm going to give to Andrade, Cien, Almas, and Johnny Gargano for the NXT title from NXT TakeOver Philadelphia. Excellent main event, great stuff. A lot of little things that they did to really set it apart from other matches. I like the involvement of the ladies, Zelina Vega and Johnny Gargano's wife, whose names escape me at the moment. But I thought that spot was really well done. A lot of great drama towards the end. It was disappointing that Gargano didn't win. But it was all done to set up Gargano versus Ciampa, which we are definitely going to get WrestleMania weekend. I've read the spoilers for NXT, and I won't talk about them here necessarily, but what I will say is that match hasn't been made official yet, but it will be. We are getting that match WrestleMania weekend, and I can't wait for it. But my number 1 favorite match of the month is going to go to Wrestle Kingdom 12's major spotlight match. Alpha versus Omega, United States Championship on the line, Kenny Omega defending against Chris Jericho. A match that had a lot riding on it, with a lot of hype put into it. And I think it's safe to say that this is one of those rare cases where they exceeded any and all expectations. I thought these guys went out there and had a just wild spectacle of a match that was entertaining all the way through. Great work by both guys. Loved the match. Jericho worked like he had something to prove and definitely delivered and helped make Kenny Omega into an even bigger commodity, because now it's like, oh, now he's got to win over Chris Jericho. This guy's hot shit. And it put Omega, because a lot of people view Omega as the biggest star in pro wrestling outside of WWE. And this match kind of solidified that, because not only is he working with Chris Jericho on a big stage, but he's beating him. And it's like, man, Omega's like a star. Like, he's one of the biggest stars in pro wrestling right now, outside of WWE. And I thought this match delivered in every way it possibly could. It was excellent. I loved it. And just great stuff. Just loved it. Excellent match. So, now that we are through my top 10 matches for January, I guess I could talk about pro wrestling and why I'm so happy with certain things going on in pro wrestling. Well, a lot of them have to do with what's going to be happening WrestleMania weekend, because here's what we have set, or going to be set for WrestleMania weekend. We are getting AJ Styles versus Shinsuke Nakamura for the WWE title at WrestleMania. That's the match a lot of us wanted. They gave Nakamura the Royal Rumble win to set it up. We're getting that match. All right. All you got to do is deliver, WWE. All you got to do is let AJ and Nakamura do their thing, and we should be good to go. I'm super excited for that match. We're going to get Roman versus Brock, which I don't care about, but you know what? They threw me a bone. They gave me the match I wanted. It's like, okay, I won't complain anymore. I won't, I still won't give a shit about Roman and Brock, but you threw me a bone. I'm cool with that. You've given me something to get excited about for WrestleMania. We're probably going to get Cena versus Taker. Well, I say that, but I think they would have set it up by now if they were going to do it. But But if they don't do it, like, what is Cena going to do? Does anybody care? Not really. Okay, fine. Maybe they'll do Cena versus Elias. Who knows? I don't know. But yeah, really my point is like, look, you can do anything else on this card. We're getting AJ versus Nakamura, so I'm going to be excited to check that out if nothing else. So good on him for doing that. And, but on the other shows happening that weekend, we've got a couple of other big ones. I've already talked a little bit about NXT and what they're doing. We're getting Black versus Almas for the title, which, I'm happy with that. I'm fine with that. It's not necessarily like a match that, it's not necessarily a program that I'm like, ooh, that's like something I gotta crawl across broken glass to see, but I think they'll have a really good match, and I think Black's gonna win the title, so I think you're going to get nothing but good stuff out of it, so I'm totally fine with that. But as I've said, the match I'm super excited about that I am positive will be happening at that show, barring some sort of tragedy, Tommaso Ciampa versus Johnny Gargano, the battle of the former DIY members, former best friends, former tag team partners, tag team champions, set up a year ago with one of the best heel turns I've seen in recent memory. I am super excited for that match. When I reviewed I believe it was Chicago that had the ladder match, right? Correct me if I'm wrong down below in the comment section. But I said back then, I was like, I can't wait for Gargano versus Ciampa now, because that setup was just so amazingly well done. I've got to see that match. It's like that match has to happen at some point. And you got... You know, it was one of those moments where I just kind of marked out and I just got absorbed into the story. I started yelling, fuck you, at the TV to Ciampa. It's like, how dare you, you son of a bitch. He was your friend. And you had that spot earlier in the match where Authors of Pain were going to hit Ciampa with a ladder, and Gargano shoved him out of the way and then took the ladder shot. And I phrased it as, Gargano took the wrestling equivalent of a bullet for you, you evil motherfucker, how dare you? How dare you do that to Johnny? And I love it when I get sucked into the story like that, because that's what it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be storytelling. I'm supposed to get immersed in what I'm seeing. And after that happened, I was like, I want that match. I want Gargano versus Ciampa to happen. And the injury to Ciampa was unfortunate for him, but kind of like what I said about the Seth Rollins Triple H injury from last year, it was kind of fortuitous for the build-up, because that meant they couldn't rush it right away. And for the Seth Rollins Triple H match, in the build-up, it didn't... it forced them to kind of shift the drama to something else, because had Seth been there every week instead of rehabbing the injury, you would have seen like the same segment every week, and it would have gotten old. And you would have gotten the same promos every week, and it would have gotten old. Having the injury on top of that kind of made the build-up more interesting. Now, the match itself didn't quite live up to its hype. It was okay, but it wasn't the WrestleMania Classic I was hoping it would be. But I think Ciampa versus Gargano has a chance to be like the show-stealing match of that weekend. I'm super excited for it. And but as they say, that's not all. Ring of Honor is giving us a match for Supercard of Honor 12. A match that I definitely would crawl across broken glass to see. A match that was set up at New Beginning in New Japan, Sapporo, Night 2. In the main event, Jay White defeated Kenny Omega to become the new U.S. champion. I don't necessarily agree with putting the belt on Jay White, of all people, because I think he's failing to impress. He didn't look good against Tanahashi, and in this match with Omega, like, okay, Omega looks like a star, Jay White does not. But Jay White won the belt, but it served a purpose because it allowed to set up that segment at the end of the show where the Bullet Club kind of looked like it was coming apart. Tempers were flaring, and we don't know where other members of the Bullet Club stand currently in this situation, but when it was just Cody and Omega left in the ring, Cody turned on Omega and hit the crossroads. I'm like, oh shit. We're getting that Hollywood Wolfpack Bullet Club storyline that people have been speculating about for years. It's like, when is Bullet Club going to do their own version of the Wolfpack? And this looks like it's going to be the start of that. Now, what we do know is that Kota Ibushi, who's been feuding with Cody Rhodes, they had that excellent match at Wrestle Kingdom, came out and saved Kenny Omega They were former tag team partners. They were the Golden Lovers, which is quite an interesting tag name. I think that's a name that plays better in Japan than it probably does in the States. But Kota Ibushi came out and helped his partner Omega. They reunited, hugged in the ring, and now all these questions are said. It's like, okay, is Ibushi going to join the Bullet Club? Which members of the Bullet Club? Who are they going to side with? They're going to side with Cody? They're going to side with Omega? That's just something we're going to have to wait and see. But Ring of Honor is getting that match. Kenny Omega versus Cody Rhodes, Supercard of Honor 12. I want to see that match. It's like, all right, it's the two leaders of the Bullet Club. The two top guys in the Bullet Club facing off. And we don't know, as of yet, where the other members of the Bullet Club stand. So this could be the genesis of something huge for the Bullet Club. And I can't wait to see what they do in this match and how everything plays out. I expect the Bucks to play a major role in the outcome of this, to say the least. Who are they going to side with? They're going to side with Omega? They're going to side with Cody? We'll have to wait and see. So, I think that match is definitely going to be worth checking out, and I will be watching Ring of Honor that weekend without a doubt. I expect a really, really interesting main event out of them. I think that match is going to be huge for Ring of Honor, and good for them. That's one of those moments where, man, that partnership with New Japan is very fortuitous for them, and this is a big match for them to get. So here's hoping it all works out for them. But yeah, so you've got 3 shows WrestleMania, and that's just 3 shows. There are other shows happening that weekend, but those are 3 shows right there, WrestleMania weekend. WrestleMania itself, NXT TakeOver, and Supercard of Honor. All 3 of those shows have a match that I would, as I said, crawl across broken glass to see. I've seen AJ versus Nakamura already. I saw it at Wrestle Kingdom 10. I thought it was amazing. But now we get to see that match at WrestleMania. Gargano versus Ciampa, a match I've been waiting a year to see. Finally going to get it. Again, it hasn't been made official yet, but I'm 100% certain that match is going to happen. Cody versus Kenny, a match that they've been kind of percolating the build-up for that since the middle of last year at least, since Dominion, the match between Okada and Omega. So we're finally getting that match. So there's a lot of really good stuff going on right now heading into WrestleMania season. And, it's stuff like that where I don't want to come off negative in my videos. And sometimes I do. I come off as harsh. And I think a lot of people do, because the negative videos are, I think, more fun for viewers. And I think, it can be cathartic in a way if you're legitimately not enjoying what you're watching. But I don't want to come across like I'm a bitch or like I'm picky or anything like that. I feel like I'm not that hard to please, as we're seeing right now. It's like, oh, you're giving me the matches I want? Okay, I'm happy. I'm on cloud 9 right now. I'm a wrestling fan. I'm ready to mark out. Let's do it. I can't wait for WrestleMania weekend. I'm super stoked with what we're going to get. We've got a long wait to go, and it's like, man, how am I going to wait that long? First weekend in April, I got to wait that long for those 3 matches that I desperately want to see. Man, it's crazy. It's crazy. And as I've said, I'm not that hard to please. You just got to give these matches the proper context, give them the right build-up, give me a reason to care, and if everything clicks, I'm on board. And I'm super excited to see how those 3 matches in particular, how they deliver. And like I said, I think the NXT show is going to be great. I think, because like I said, you're also getting Almas versus Black for the title, which I think is going to be very good. And you're getting various other matches as well. And the TakeOver specials are always really, really good. I think WrestleMania will probably, even with like the stuff I don't care about, I think that they'll probably have a few. I think we're going to get Asuka versus Charlotte, which I think could be a really, really good match. And that's the thing about the women's matches. They're like, oh, we're giving them huge spotlight matches at WrestleMania. Oh, we're so progressive and all this. And it's like, yeah, but you're giving them triple threats and 4-ways, which, I mean, the triple threat was the best match at WrestleMania 32, but that was also a shitty WrestleMania. The 4-way, and I think there was like a 7-way last year. Those matches were like, whatever, but you could have put almost anything in that spot. It would have been exactly the same. Those aren't exactly huge spotlight matches. I think building up Asuka as this unbeatable force, and then having her go up against Charlotte, who is like the premier, like, athletic woman, and the two have never crossed paths before, I think it would be a really big match for WrestleMania. And that's okay. That's what you give the women. You have two women that are built up as credible, are built up as the best at what they do. Put them together. Who's going to win? I don't know, but I want to see who wins. So I think that could be a really good match if they ultimately go that route. So I think WrestleMania is going to have more to it than just the one match. I think Ring of Honor, I mean, they always go strong WrestleMania weekend, it seems. They always have at least one really, really good match. The main event is going to be enough, kind of like what the Young Bucks versus the Hardys was that one WrestleMania weekend. Last year, actually. I thought that was a really good match for them to have. So, I expect that match to be really good. There's lots of stuff to enjoy about pro wrestling, and that's the point I always want to get across, even if I'm completely shitting on something. There's a lot of really good content out there, and it's just, sometimes you gotta shift through the dirt to find it, but when you find those diamonds, man, it really feels good. It's one of those things, it's like, I love this art form, and when you give me something to be excited about, I'm going to be a happy fan. I'm going to tell people that I'm happy. And right now, I'm happy. It feels good to be happy. I'm excited for WrestleMania weekend. I can't wait to see how it all plays out. What else is there to talk about? I guess I could talk about the Super Bowl. I go into details. I will say this, like I said, I was happy with the outcome. I was happy to see Philly win, which again, it feels so weird for me to say that, but here we are. The game itself was fun. It had various memorable moments, like Brady failing on the catch and Nick Foles catching the touchdown on that trick play and various other things like that. My major knock on the game was the lack of defense. I thought, okay, how screwed up is that? If a game is super defensive and there's a lot of turnovers and stuff like that, that's considered a bad game. If it's super low scoring, like 10-7, like people are like, oh, that's a terrible game. If it's super high scoring, like 40, like this one, what was it, 41-33, something like that. If you get a score like that with over 1,000 yards of offense and both teams just marching up and down the field, that's considered a great game. And it's like, I like it to be in the middle, like those 21-17, like 24-21, those type of scores, where it's like you earn the points, like good enough defense, but the offense does enough to be impactful. So those are the type of games I like, where a balance, shall we say. Marching up and down the field, yeah, that gets boring to me. But overall, I did enjoy the game, and like I said, there were a lot of memorable moments. The referees didn't control the game much at all. I can't recall any penalty flags or anything I disagreed with. The 2 touchdown calls that are being hotly contested as controversial plays right now. Although, to their credit, most New England fans I've talked to have said that they agree with those calls. So, it's really the media that's trying to play them up as these controversial calls and like, oh, see, the NFL doesn't even know what a catch is anymore, and oh, maybe the Patriots got screwed. And I'm like, I disagree wholeheartedly. I think they were touchdowns all the way. And most New England fans I've talked to feel the same. It's like, guys, they were touchdowns. Let it go. But the first one they got where it looked like, he did. His tiptoe stepped on the white line of the end zone, which would indicate, oh, he's out of bounds, so not a catch, not a touchdown. Except that was the third step. I watched the replay in slow motion. It's like, okay, makes contact with the ball, has, I would say, control of it, and his left foot is down, and then he steps down with his right foot, and then he steps down again with his left foot, which is the shot that went outside the end zone. Now, there's some debate on whether or not he had control of the ball on that first left foot step, but to me that's where the debate really should be, not on, yes, we all agree his toe was on the line, but the question is, did he have control of the ball for then? And for some reason, a lot of the articles I'm reading are focusing on, oh, his toe was on the line, therefore it's not a catch. And I'm like, you're kind of focusing on the wrong thing. But I would have ruled that a touchdown, personally, and they did, so no complaints here. And the Ertz touchdown, I don't understand what the hell people are talking about there, because he took 2 or 3 steps before going into the end zone. He's a runner at that point, which is how the referees called it. And I'm like, yes, he was a runner. Pretty good rule. And I know there's a lot of debate on catches right now and what's a catch and what's not a catch. Pretty good rule of thumb. If he records yards after catch, if he gets some yak, catch is done, catch is complete. I don't know. That's how I feel. And he took a good 2 or 3 steps heading into the end zone before diving in. So, to me, that is clearly a touchdown. No debate. I don't know what the hell they're talking about. It's like, oh, the ground forced it out. It's like, yeah, after he'd already completed the catch. So, even if he didn't break the plane, it's fumble, recovery, still a touchdown. Fuck you. Like, again, I don't know what the debate is. I think the referees got that call completely right. There's no controversy with that call. Chris Collinsworth should be ashamed of himself for being as adamant that wasn't a catch. I was like, dude, you really? Are we just going to ignore that he took 2 or 3 steps before heading in? Because really, and a lot of people are comparing that one to the Jesse James touchdown that the Steelers had taken back a few weeks ago. And to me, that one's a little different, where it looked like Jesse James caught the ball, got both hands on it, and then in one motion kind of turned around, and like he was like turning around and falling to the ground all in one motion, and stretched for the end zone, and then the ball touched the ground. It's like, okay, to me, the debate should be not did the ground force the ball out, but was the turnaround enough to constitute him becoming a runner and stretching for the end zone and completing the catch? If yes, then that should have been a touchdown. If no, then the process of completing the catch wasn't done, and then it's not a touchdown. So that to me is what the real debate is. To me, the Ertz catch is way more clear cut. It's like he took 2 or 3 steps before heading in. That's a touchdown. There's no parallel universe where that's not a touchdown. And if there is, I never want to go to said universe. But personally, if we're, like, to go back to the Jesse James touchdown, if it were up to me, I would have said not enough evidence to overturn, because I'm like, that is such a on the fence weirdo play. I would have said not enough. They ruled it a touchdown initially, and I would have said not enough evidence to overturn. Because really, it's like, is that enough? Because again, everybody was focusing on the ball hitting the ground, and I would have focused on the motion, catch, and then kind of like spinning and falling to the ground. And I'm like, does he become a runner when he turns around or not? Or is he just completing the process of the catch by going to the ground and stretching to the end zone? I don't know. It's a tough call. And I would have said not enough evidence to overturn. But I think the touchdowns in the Super Bowl, there's no controversy in my mind, except maybe, okay, we can talk about lack of control on the first one, but that second one, that's clearly a touchdown. And even, like I said, a lot of New England fans even agree with me. So it is what it is. The media is terrible. Chris Collinsworth is terrible. But in any case, yeah, I enjoyed the Super Bowl. Congratulations to the Philadelphia Eagles. Your fans are Neanderthals and savages. I mean, I can't imagine winning a Super Bowl and then burning down the city and causing destruction and eating dog poop or whatever the hell else it is you did. But I think it was horse poop, actually, in the clip I saw. But it's like, I don't understand that. I really just don't. It's like, when the Giants won the Super Bowl, I just drank a beer, yelled a lot, and said hooray, 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 and called a bunch of people. That's all I did. I didn't start burning stuff down. But, hey, you celebrate any way you want, I guess. And if that lands you in jail, so be it. But anyway, yeah, Super Bowl was a lot of fun, very interesting. Again, happy with the result, and the offseason is going to be very interesting. I'm very looking forward to seeing what my Giants do to fix the disaster that is their team, but I've got a few more months to wait until I see what they do. So, with that, I'm done with this video. Thank you all for watching, and I've got more videos lined up for you. WrestleMania MVPs, LVPs, more of those are coming. So look for those. I think I've got 3 lined up for next week. So 3 separate videos, so be on the lookout. Be sure to like and subscribe down below. Hit the little bell there so you get the notifications of my new videos. And like and follow me on Twitter as well, where I tweet a bunch of random stuff. But in any case, that is all I have for you now. Y'all enjoy your week. Y'all enjoy your weekend. And once again, congratulations to Philly for winning the Super Bowl. But that's all I got for you now. So until next time, later, everybody.